Welcome back to the realm of the mindful madman. Yeah, I don't know why I just did that. I like to do like corny introductions sometimes because I know sometimes my voice can be a little monotone. It's not really monotone. I just have like a very like steady pace voice. It doesn't get too. It doesn't. Oh, it just hit my diffuser. What just happened? I don't know what just happened, but my voice doesn't get too doesn't jump in pitch too much unless I'm really hype about something. But yeah, welcome back to the realm of the mindful madman. A few days ago, I saw a video. I think it was a YouTube short. I'm not entirely sure, but we're gonna go with that since we're on YouTube, right? So it was a YouTube short that I saw, and pretty much it was this girl talking about how there has been a resurgence, I think that's the word she used, or a revival in more people reading, especially the younger generation. And she was talking about how Book Talk and BookTube has been just growing, and how people just have been becoming more interested in books. And I want to touch base on that just a little bit. Personally, I never was someone that grew up liking to read or enjoyed it. It wasn't really something I liked. And I think that also through the school system and being forced to read books that I didn't have an interest in either, that also kind of put a stain on my the enjoyment that I got from reading. And it's interesting how things kind of come full circle, because now I actually enjoy reading because I, for one, read what I want to read. And I realize that one of the ways for me to become a better writer, to become more well-rounded in my writing, in my poetry, is reading more books from different authors and genres who have a varying opinion or take on life, something that is out of my scope, something that I didn't yet think of myself or necessarily always agree with. And I don't mean things that are like contrary to my moral beliefs, but more so things that just never crossed my mind, you know? Obviously, from one of the videos that I posted a couple months back, why you should read more fiction, check that out. I'll put the tab in the little box at the top or whatever. But I think that since fiction is my favorite genre to read, there's such a wide array of different worlds that I can step into when I am reading. And yeah, it's just becoming more something that has been a better passing of time, a better, I don't even know the word, a better leisure activity, as opposed to always doom scrolling. Because scrolling is so bad. I've doom scrolled so much, it's such a waste of time, and it's brain rot. Like it rots your brain, it corrodes your spirit, especially if you look at things or watch things that are mindless. And then it makes it even harder for you to be able to do a task or anything that requires you to focus, you know? And I just really resonated with what that woman said. How people, especially, millennials, Gen Z, mainly Gen Z, starting to realize that social media is very, very toxic. And a lot of it isn't really there to help you grow. Obviously, you're going to have channels that are motivational, and there'll be people on there who create things that inspire you and whatnot. But most of social media is pretty toxic. It's pretty vile, it's vanilla, right? So it's just like, what can we do outside of our phones that isn't social media, that isn't requiring us to not just be on our phones but always looking at screens? I know there are people who read on their phone. There's a huge Kindle community and people who read on the Kindle, and that's fine. But personally, I just like physical copy books. I'm old school in that way, I guess. I like reading the book, feeling it in my hand, seeing how many pages I have left and comparing it to the amount that I read. I am one of those people. I don't know. It's just something that's there's a whole physical and I personally think mental and emotional and spiritual thing that's positive that happens when you pick up a good book and you read it. And that's just something that I think more people should do. And I think that a lot of good will come out of this because personally, I believe that social media, for the most part, is being used as a weapon to weaken the spirits of young people, to push them farther away from God, to make them more do what thy wilt, make them have that mentality more so than having morals and beliefs and codes of conduct and all those things. Social media gives you the opportunity to be whoever you want, to lie and put on the front, to be something that you're not. And I think that when you're always engulfed in that, you kind of lose a piece of yourself and you suppress your childlike nature even more. You suppress your imagination and you kind of you don't always broaden your frame of reference when you're on social media. Sometimes it can make you even more closed-minded to think that the things you see online are true and are the golden standard, when a lot of it is just false. A lot of it is lies. A lot of it is a facade, right? But when you're able to step away from that and do something physical, do something outside of that realm of the matrix, like reading a book or going in nature, it's just so much better. It really, really is. You feel better. Try it. If you're someone that doesn't read, find a book that you like. I don't even care if it's a comic book. Read that and then compare that to how you feel after you doom scroll. It's a completely different feeling. Your eyes don't feel as worn out. You don't have a headache as much or at all. And shoot, reading is one of the best things to do if you're trying to go to sleep. Man, you go to sleep quickly as opposed to be on your phone and you're stimulated and your brain is just staying up, but your body wants to go to sleep. That's crazy. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and talk about that real fast. I just think that a lot of great things is going to come from more people getting involved in reading. And another thing, reading makes you a more interesting person when you're someone that reads more books. Just like when you hear, you talk to people that are well traveled, you can travel through books as well. Obviously, it's not the same as traveling in real life, but it's a different form of traveling. And when you're able to enter these worlds and gain a different perspective and learn new words and new ways of thinking and just kind of engulf yourself in that, you become a more interesting person. And you can tell when someone is a well-read person or tries to be when you speak to them, and the conversations you have are very rich and endearing, you know? Like a couple days ago, actually no, it was yesterday. Yesterday, I was running errands and I went to Barnes & Nobles, went to the bookstore. I was just looking at books and I had a conversation with a stranger and we were talking for like 2 hours. And it was an amazing conversation. Like, it was awesome. And, I don't know this person doesn't know me, but I think also what the main thing is that we shared the same faith and we were just feeding off of each other. And I think the Most High was really working in the conversation. Holy Spirit was moving because we were just sharing testimonies and it was a good conversation. But even outside of that, we were talking about books. I mean, we're in a bookstore talking about our favorite genres and what we like to read, and then that kind of spilled over into other topics, and it's a great conversation starter too. And the person I was talking to, they like reading, and I can tell because they were very articulate, and they just, like, when we spoke, it was very organic. It was enforced. It was just good vibes. It was just good vibes. So yeah, I just think that reading also just makes you a more interesting person. And it allows you to start conversations easier and hold them longer and not be like NPC-ish and robotic in your answers. So That's my take on the reel that I cannot find. I just know that it was like I think a white girl was speaking. That's all I remember. I just remember it was like some woman, some white woman. She was speaking about how she's noticing that more people are reading. I wish I could find it. I'm gonna try to look again and maybe put it on here. But yeah, what are you reading right now? What's your book of choice in the early rise of fall and autumn? I don't know which word you use, fall, autumn. What are you reading right now? Put it in the comments. And if you have any TBRs, put that in the comments too, or what your favorite genre is, or anything. And if you're also on Goodreads, definitely connect with me on Goodreads. I would love to see what you're reading in your TBRs and kind of just get a broader scope of books, because I know I can easily kind of box myself in a little realm of reading, but I want to branch out to different things, that are different books and authors and ideas that I haven't really touched on before. So if you do have Goodreads, my Goodreads is in the description with my other socials. Just send an invite or follow me. I'm not too savvy on how it works on the opposite end. But yeah, that is my little spiel on the reel that I saw. And I'm the worst at ending videos, so this is the Mindful Madman talking weirdly again. But yeah, it's the Mindful Madman. See you in the next video. Peace.